今天我们要跟着 Rachel 姐姐去看她的庄园，就是著名的 Esmeralda 翡翠庄园啦。
Camillo is the first farm where Daniel discovered geisha. Well, my father, who I already said was a scientist, was looking at the different coffee trees and said, these trees are looking sicker than these trees. So let's plant here with these trees because they're not getting this fungus. It was a fungus that we have that we call ojo de gallo. I'll show you which it is. So he decided to plant a whole hill in this variety that was not getting sick from this fungus. But in the 90s, we didn't really cup coffee. But starting in the early 2000s, we did start cupping coffee. So my brother Daniel started cupping the coffee from that farm and compared it to the coffee that we had in Palmira, which is where our mill is. Wow, it's very different flavor, very different. This is strange. And ended up putting it in the Best of Panama in 2004, and that was the whole history of geisha. That's where geisha started. Here in Panama, they brought geisha in the 70s, but it was brought by the Ministry of Agriculture because so we only had Catuai and Típica. We only had Bourbon and Típica. The genetic base of coffee was very small, so they wanted to bring some more genetics into coffee, and that's why they brought geisha. But geisha had a very, very small production, so so everybody cut it out, except this farm. When we bought this farm, it was an abandoned coffee farm. The person no longer produced coffee, so they forgot about the coffee trees and they left them down there, and that's why it still had geisha, and that's why we were able to harvest the seed and make a whole plantation out of geisha. Most of our higher elevation lots are on this side, so most of the ones that normally compete or are better known are coffees from this side. On this hill going up, this side is called Moria. This bottom part here is called Reina, but above here is Mario and then Bosque. And those are our better known coffee from Jaramillo Farm. Mario goes down this hill. The flavor of geisha was first discovered here on Mario. This was the first hill that we planted in geisha. Back in 2004, this was here. It was in Mario. It was from this hill. And so this is the oldest geisha that we have, and this is the most well-known. It was planted in in 96 we bought the farm, in 97 we started the nursery. In 98 it was planted, and in 2003 Daniel started cupping, and 2004 was the first year it competed in Best of Panama. You can see that these up here are not as old as the ones in the bottom part, but you can see from the thick trunks that they are older trees. At the bottom part you can see them, they're even bigger. Most of them we've cut out though, and we've replanted because it's very, very, very wet here, very humid all the time. Always it's wet. So, and you can see the trees always have like, the moss that grows on them. When you stump a coffee, stumping is when we prune. And when we prune, we cut it here, we stump it, usually something new grows out. But see, because it's so humid and so full of this, sometimes it doesn't grow out. You have to just put a new plant in because it died. This farm has that problem. A lot of them, if you stump it, they don't grow back. Some of those do. See, some of them have plants that have grown back. Here it grows back, right?
Yeah.
This one, it did grow back. But others, like that one, it didn't grow back. So you just have to... Remember that I spoke to you about the fungus that my dad... This is ojo de gallo. So it's not that it doesn't get ojo de gallo. It does get ojo de gallo, but it gets less ojo de gallo than the Catuai does. So this is all ojo de gallo. We're just checking to see if it's not leaf rust. It's not leaf rust. It's all ojo de gallo, which is one fungus that we get a lot here on this farm because it's so humid all the time. But it's the reason that we ended up choosing geisha on this farm.